Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday, 10 a.m., Hot Take Tuesday from PopSpeed Digital Marketing. I'm Lori Joe Vest, and I am here with Molly Wagner and Kylie Metcalf. And today we're going to give you an update on Chat GPT and how we're using it in marketing and maybe how you shouldn't use it in marketing. So, Kylie, get us started.
Yes, let's do it. So we've talked about ChatGPT and AI copy before. In a lot of ways, our stance has not changed. We don't think it's at the point yet where it's going to replace real human writers. We think
Yeah.
actually it's very far from it. So today we're going to kind of cover some updates that have happened and are going on with AI copy and ChatGPT, and why we still think it's not worth relying on. And
Yeah.
those three whys are: the copy is still bad, the facts are not always facts, and Google is actually beginning to delist AI content. And then we're going to wrap up
Yeah.
today with a little bit of like a how to and how we do use AI copy or rely on ChatGPT a little bit in certain things that we do without letting it take over our actual copy that we do
Yeah.
for on behalf of our clients.
Don't let it take over. Okay. A
Exactly.
number one, the copy is
And
still
number
bad.
one, yeah,
Still bad.
exactly.
We are finding, I honestly am pretty convinced that we can detect social copy that's AI written. And there's a couple of things that you'll find. It's long, 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 and it uses a lot of flowery language, and it's just kind of overwrought. I mean, how do you describe it, Molly?
Yeah,
It's like overdone.
you kind of hit the nail on the head with it being just so unbelievably long. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I'll use it as like just to get some new ideas, and if I tell it to like write me a social post for something, it is always at least 4 to 5 paragraphs long,
Yep.
which
It's
is
insane.
absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very long. Very, very
Yeah.
long. I think another key point about it too, because aside from being long, and I think flowery, Lori, is the perfect word because it's very kind of, it can be eerie, it can be dramatic, it can be like very like overzealous. There's a lot of
Yeah.
weird things wrong with it. And you've heard us say time and time again, stand out by fitting in on social. You want to write and talk and have copy that presents itself similar to how you would converse with your audience, right?
Yeah.
I think on another notion of AI copy, I've heard this quote before, and I wish I could think of who it came from, and I can't. It's escaping me. But um, if you won't take the time to write your own copy, why should anybody else take the time to read it? And I think that, yeah, and I think that
Yeah.
is like a really good way of kind of framing AI in a nutshell, right? Like if it
Yeah,
doesn't matter enough to you to write it yourself, then is it good enough or worthwhile enough for your audience to actually spend their time reading it?
exactly. Oh, I'm so with you on that, 150%. And the next point is it's not always accurate. It will present you with facts that are not facts.
Exactly.
How many times have we
Exactly.
seen that?
Well, I mean, time and time again, it's almost, if you use AI to write social copy or help you write a blog or, more long form writing as opposed to just
Yeah.
quick little slogans and ideas and things like that, you are going to have to fact check everything you are,
Yep.
you know, saying whether it's on behalf of your brand or a client's brand or whatever the case may be. And I think with this in mind, because, AI pulls all of its information from the internet. You think
Yep.
about the internet and how many times you've heard, well, do you believe everything you read on the internet? No,
No.
of course not, because there's so much misinformation there. And you consider how much time you personally have to spend to kind of fact check your own research. In this
It's not.
case, it, exactly, you're fact checking something that you did not even write. So,
Yeah.
something for me, I'm curious what you guys think about this, is that specifically in terms of blog writing, this is something that I've noticed. I don't know that using AI really saves much time, because you have to dive so much deeper into the research which in my opinion is the less fun part because I really enjoy writing. So yeah, I'm curious what you guys think about that.
Molly?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And honestly, for that reason, I don't use it and have never used it
Either.
for blog writing outside of just like give me an outline, which
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll get into a little bit later. And as someone with a journalism background,
Ugh,
I like have no trust in it
Hmm.
to be in any way accurate.
yep.
And so I feel like I am capable of just going out and doing the research on my own to write it in the first place instead of
Hmm.
having to like go back through and fact check and edit and proof it,
Yeah.
which again just is not saving anyone any time.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not. And matter of fact,
Matter of
it
fact.
is actually Google is delisting copy that they determine to be AI written. So if you're like, "Oh, we're just gonna have AI rewrite this article and we're gonna put it up and hope it gets us some Google juice," it won't.
Yeah.
Google is thinking the same way that the person is that said that. If you can't take time to write for your audience, why should they take time to read it? So
Hmm.
Google is on it. What I think is really interesting, I don't know if you guys have ever done this. I have, is I've taken an article I wrote and put it into an AI detector. And it's
Yeah.
hilarious because you can take, I did this once just as a test. You can take the same article and put it in 5 different AI detectors. And it will say this paragraph. One will say this paragraph was AI written, and one will say this was AI written. One will say none of it was AI written. So it's really dicey because I think
Yeah.
it detects like the flowery language and the length and that kind of thing as AI. So
Yeah.
honestly, stay away from flowery language,
Yeah.
and long, long, long copy. When we talked about smart brevity before, it's people are wanting to read things that are shorter, not longer. So,
Yeah. Shorter,
so
easy to understand, and
yeah,
conversational, I think are three
yeah.
key things that audiences are seeking out.
I just read something that I was looking at something about landing pages because again, landing pages are another possible use for AI copy that you should not do, but that
Hmm.
a landing page should read like the back of a cereal box, have
Hmm.
the pertinent information, and that's it. AI will give you the pertinent information, maybe right, maybe wrong, but it's ensconced in a whole bunch of flowery stuff, and nobody
Yeah.
will read it. So that's a
Well,
huge part of it.
I think that's a really key point because when you factor in, in our case, we use or consider AI as a tool for digital marketing purposes,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And the entire purpose of our efforts in the digital marketing space are to garner results.
Yeah.
And a lot of those results rely on Google. So you
Yeah.
kind of have to weigh what's more important. Is it more important to save time, which, as we said, we don't think it really saves that much time with all of the necessary editing?
Yep.
Or is it more important to get those results and put a little bit more time and brain power into whatever it is that you're writing about?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So how do we use AI? I play with the visuals because I think that's pretty fun to just once in a while, I'll just go on there and play with like, oh, give me this style image of a this doing that, and you can come up with some pretty hilarious 6-fingered people. The people that can't get the fingers right. I don't know. Maybe they're moving toward 5 fingers, but right now a lot of times you get six
Oh,
fingers and extra
Right.
arms. But when it comes to the copy angle of it, I found it really useful for things like t-shirt slogans.
Hmm.
We are moving toward PopSpeed Garage, which is the next entity we want to create, and we're doing a line of auto enthusiast T-shirts. And the
Hmm.
slogans, the first one that I absolutely loved was "My driving scares me too." That was
I
hilarious.
like that one.
So for T-shirt slogans, I have used it for um, blog outlines. Like I have to write an article about sexual health, so
Mhm.
many different things you could cover with that angle. So I'll put in, give me a 500 word blog. I need an outline, and here is the client, and it will give you this outline that's really involved, and I can kind of cherry pick from that and create
Mhm.
my own outline. But it's a good thought starter and conversation starter
mhm.
or idea generator is what I find. How are
Yeah,
you guys using it?
I think brainstorming is a really great way to use it, whether it's a blog outline, a social outline, like you kind of factor in, oh, this is what this client does. and I just need a new way. I know we've mentioned this before too. Some of our clients we've had for years and years and years, and it gets kind of difficult to spread the word of their mission in new ways that we have not
Mhm.
done
Yeah.
before. So I think
Yeah.
that's a really cool way to use it, just to kind of get creative when, our brains only know what they know. So pulling help in that
Yep.
sense, I think is really useful and helpful. One other key way that we've used it before, I don't know if we've mentioned it on Hot Take Tuesday before, but we had a project a while ago that Molly worked on pretty heavily with product descriptions. And I think it was 4,000 or 5,000 really
Yeah.
brief product descriptions. And I know it was very useful then. I'd be curious now, because I think in the last couple of years, AI has really, you know, really changed and evolved in a good
Mhm.
way. How much easier it would be to use it for that case now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
That oh,
the we the tool that we used wasn't Chat GPT at the time.
was
Right.
Like it was
Jasper.
something completely, yeah. And it
Jasper.
was
Jasper. That's what it was.
it was usable, but it wasn't great. Like it
Right.
still required a lot of editing. So I would be really curious to see how much better Chat GPT would be
Yeah.
to do that kind of project now. Not
Yeah.
saying that I want that as a project, but if it comes that was
Yeah,
my
it was
first project on PopSpeed, and that
Yes.
was
poor Molly.
it was interesting.
Yeah, it was 4,000 descriptions of luxury carpets, and they were different colors, different patterns, different styles, and you had to come at it from a different angle. You didn't want to come at
Yeah.
the, copy with the same angle for everyone. So it would give you like interesting angles to come at the copy with. But I have to
Hmm.
say the most funny one was it basically positioned the carpet as something you should take with you to
Yeah.
stand on at the next cocktail party so you could show your friends and family how stylistically sophisticated you were. And so I'm
Exactly.
like, "Really? Is that what we're gonna
Oh,
do?"
that's so funny.
Yeah.
But
We
it's
learned
again,
some
it's
new words in that process too.
did we ever? But it was super fun, and it was like one of those, like, and again, stories. It gave us another story to
Yeah.
tell, and Molly
Yep.
had to tell all our friends for months, "What are you doing?" Carpet descriptions."
Yep.
It was
All day,
hilarious.
every
So,
day.
all day, every day for months.
Oh,
Yeah.
But hey, it got her on our team, and that's what counts.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Exactly.
well, that's what we've got for you guys. If you are interested in hearing more about how we use AI, or if you'd like us to take a look at your social media and do a quick no charge audit, please get in touch with us. We are all open networkers on LinkedIn, and we're here. We are here every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. with another hot take. We'll see you again soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.